All for the younger generation becomes imperative at a time like this. But then, what do we look out for when choosing the next set of leaders in 2019? We're going to be talking all about that on the program just now. And joining me is a public affairs analyst, a leadership and communication expert as well, Abiola Salami. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Network Africa.
Thank you.
So, we know all about, elections are coming up, everything is this. People are wooing voters already, and we see, the old people are showing interest in doing this. But then there's a call for, generational shift for, people to lead Nigeria. So what should voters look out for, in choosing the next set of leaders? Putting into consideration a lot of people that we see are coming out to say they want to contest next year.
Okay, great question. And it's a good thing that we're thinking of engaging younger people because of the energy. Is a good thing because of the demography as well. I mean, Nigeria, the average age is 17.2 years, So it's good that the conversation about who to contest is coming down into young people. But in addition to looking at age is not the only criteria we should look at. A number of other things that we should consider. And that is, one, competence. So whichever young person that we're thinking of that people want to elect into office, how competent is this individual? So we need to look at competence. We need to look at character. Character is the place of integrity, because to manage office effectively, to govern a people effectively, it's important to have a good sense of character. The other thing to look at is compassion. Somebody that will really care about the people, not just putting the focus of leadership and the gains of the office for himself, but using it to actually improve the lives of people. So our GDP is X now, and by the time the president is in leadership, after a few years, it moves into X plus something positive. We talk about poverty level now, there is an improvement. There should be an improvement in that. We talk about unemployment rate, there should be an improvement in that. So we're looking for people. We should be looking for people. One, young people, yes, but not just young, because young could be an illusion. Young, competent, also has a good sense of character. Also, the person is compassionate and has the courage to make certain changes happen.
Right, how do we get this such, glamorous idea of a person that, we want to be in power? How do we get the person, up to this, level?
Okay.
Because it's one thing for the voters to choose the person that they want to elect as president or governor or the National Assembly representatives. It's another thing for the political parties that are on ground already to encourage young people. So where do we start from in getting these crop of leaders into power? Yes.
Since the conversation now is about young people, what political parties need to do is to pay attention to these things. Not just because the young person is popular, but because the young person is making a difference. And I think it's easy to get these young people. So whatever portfolio you have at the moment, the young person has at the moment, how's this person managing it? So the person doesn't necessarily have to be in politics already, and the person may be in politics already, but there's certain attributes, there's certain traits that we should look out for. And what a political party wants to do is to use this to even build credibility. Every now and then parties get into finger pointing, blaming each other for the woes of the nation. But what parties should do right now is to project a young person that is competent, that is compassionate, that has the character, that is courageous to make certain changes, positive changes now to happen, so that the political party will not lose credibility with the people. So political parties should be thinking of not just this election, should be thinking about 10 years, 20 years' time, that they still want to remain in power, not just for themselves, but in adding value to people. So look for those young people. They are in this Nigeria.
From what you've, observed, being a leadership expert, I'm sure you will have sat down to, listen to all these people. Do you think, the political parties, as they're presently constituted, are ready for this change? let's take a look at the, the big parties,
The big parties.
the two,
The two
and then
big
the
parties.
other ones that are, we think are top
Okay,
parties.
to a large extent, there seems to be some lip service paid to this, to a large extent. That it's just something that's been said. Yes, the National Assembly approved Not Too Young to Rule, but there's still some level of lip service being paid to this. But we need to start to take practical steps, even in the party structure itself, and so the senior generation need to start to play the role of consultants and to sit back and advise. So even in the party structure, we need to start to see young people who, the National Publicity Secretary, the chairperson for the political parties, the BO, the board of trustees, can be with the senior people. But the people actively involved in doing things should be the younger people. So it starts from the structure of the party into now elective post. You cannot have senior people being in the structure of the political party and expect that younger people will run for office.
Thank you so much for your thoughts on this. Abiola Salami, a leadership and communication expert, talking to us on the leadership, the business of leadership. Let me put it that way. Thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me.